Hello, this is Danielle Gaudette,
Linda Yunjin.
Courtney Linda.
and you're listening to the For a New Humanity podcast on Earth Management TV. Today's topic is how can businesses prioritize the planet?
All right. Well, I'm interested, but I think we're going to have a hard time convincing businesses when their main job is to make profit. We might just be in too deep with prioritizing making profit. We celebrate capitalism. I think it's going to be hard for us to look at it a different way and to prioritize something else that is not that, especially if it might even in the slightest way decrease revenue. I think businesses tend to freak out over losing profit.
I know, it's true. I feel like it's so disheartening. And even when I hear you say it, I'm like, I want to start to cry. My heart always hurts if I think about the kind of, greediness and that we're just completely consumed by. But, when I start to fall into that place, my hope is that I kind of have to remember that, even businesses are made up of people, individuals. And the power is in the hands of the individual. The hope is in the hands of the person. So, all it takes is for a company's leader to decide, we need to go green. Let's sit down. Let's look at this. Where can we begin? Maybe there's places that we can start that don't even, not even a huge cost for us. And then maybe moving towards things that are costly, but just where can we begin? And, everyone's important in a company. So even if the leader is not saying that, the employees are important. They can speak up. They can talk out at meetings or, write in requests or letters. Everyone's voice is important. I think we've talked about this many times here, how important the individual is. And this goes all the way down to the consumer. Even the consumer as a person is important because what you buy is really you're telling the company if I'm going to support you or not. So we have a right to speak out for sustainability and choose the businesses that practice it. And then the businesses need to see if they're losing customers or not.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention, going green is actually cool these days. It's companies want to look cool and want to go green because it's hip, it's trendy.
Yeah. No, I agree. People want it. And I personally do that. I look to certain companies and businesses to see if they're conscious of their effect on the planet. And that's the organization, that's the company I'm going to choose. So let's talk about what are some practices businesses can take to start prioritizing the planet and making greener choices.
Yeah. So I agree with you, Courtney. I'm with you. I personally look for, could be makeup, skincare, even water bottles that reduce waste or aren't using plastic anymore because there's other materials that can be used. I love those companies that are minimizing waste. So I'm really looking for them, even if they're off the main brand. I'm interested in companies that are showing me that they're trying to find alternative materials or they're reusing materials, recycling. They're, even reducing in their packaging of things. And through that, they're encouraging responsible consumption among customers. They're encouraging me to buy it. I'm always going to choose them, even if it's over this company who has a name brand whose product is known to be so great. I won't choose them over the ones who are really trying to be considerate about the planet with their packaging.
And that's actually a really good example of where companies can actually gain customers. They can actually make money from the practices they're using because they're attracting that person who wants that product or the way that product is handled. In addition, if you want to be looking for products, or companies want to be looking for products that are durable, they're repairable, they're also recyclable. So we've heard of a company that has a take back program. They take old jeans, they shred them up, and they use them as housing insulation. And then in exchange for that, the people who bring that back, their old jeans, they give them a coupon for the next purchase. So it's a win-win because you're recycling, You're also insulating housing units, and that itself is going to consume less energy. So it encourages us all around to use less resources and to reuse.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
I love that example that you said, Courtney, because my next point in how businesses can be a little bit more eco-friendly and prioritize the planet is partnering with other businesses that promote sustainability. So I think in our capitalistic society, collaborations between businesses typically happen if they feel like they can partner with a company to bring more profit. So for example, maybe a big name clothing company might collaborate with a big name celebrity because they feel like this partnership will bring in billions of dollars in revenue, and it usually does, right? So businesses are currently collaborating based on profit. But, and I'm not saying that's bad, but maybe businesses can think about collaborating with companies to promote sustainability. Like you said, that jean company, the clothing company that is taking the jeans and then partnering up with a housing insulation company that makes housing insulation to shred up the jeans and then use that material to build insulation. That kind of partnership is what I'm talking about, because they're taking back old things, they're making it into something that's more valuable. So I want to see more companies collaborate in this way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so great. And if the company could also, encourage their employees, like I said, what as we kicked this off, how the individual is so important and the individuals can be influencing up, but the company can be influencing the individuals from top down, right? It would be so great if they were encouraging their employees to take part in sustainability initiatives or even providing different kinds of training and education or environmentally friendly practices. So we're all helping each other, right? Like if there's leaders who aren't looking in that direction, then the employees, the customers can kind of, knock on their door. But then wherever there's leadership who's aware of this, then it becomes their job and their responsibility to educate their employees who, they have a huge power over many people in their company to let them become more aware about how they can do environmentally friendly practices, both in company and as individuals living their lives. So I think it's a time that we really need to help each other. And I would love to see more companies helping their employees to do that.
Yeah. And maybe it doesn't have to be like a boring lecture, like make it a game, make it a challenge between your team, posting information in the break room. There's tons of ways that a company can educate on these practices. They can be creative about it if they choose to do so. And then it also makes it easier on the individual to be making those choices. If everybody's making them together, I think that's a great way to go.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Just like we can get so creative if we choose this, if we just all decide to choose this together. There's so many ways, so many creative ways. So I'm going to put my hope there.
Yeah, so this topic is about how can businesses prioritize the planet. But as Danielle mentioned at the beginning of this episode, businesses are comprised of individuals, consumers like you and I, who make up the business, who eventually drive the direction of this sustainability change. So what we want to encourage you to do this week in relation to the topic is check the products that you buy. A lot of us, we kind of are loyal to a certain brand, loyal to a certain product. We rebuy the same things over and over again. So if you see that maybe you buy the same lotion or you buy the same lip balm, think about what items can I change or what items can I replace that is using maybe wasteful packaging right now. So I gave an example of a lip balm, something as small as a lip balm. If I'm using a lip balm that is using a plastic container, maybe I can switch to a lip balm that is using a paper container. Even something small like this is still an action towards sustainability. So that is one way. And then another one is, again, if you are loyal to a certain product, like you buy the same thing again and again, and you take a look at it and you're like, wait, these eggs that I really like to buy, I'm seeing they're using styrofoam packaging for the eggs, but I buy these eggs a lot because I love these eggs. And if you feel like this, I really want to keep supporting this company, but I don't like what they're doing, you have a voice. You can write a letter to these companies and express your concern. Hey, listen, I love your eggs. I love supporting your company, but I really don't agree with your styrofoam use or something like this. And you might think, oh my God, what kind of company is going to listen to my voice? But actually, companies are always looking to improve their image. They're always looking to improve their customer satisfaction. So they want to hear this feedback. They want to hear from their consumers because it affects their profit too and affects their company image. So please feel free to write and express your concerns to companies that you want to support, but maybe their practices don't align with your beliefs.
Yes. And that's a perfect note to end on, remembering that you do have a voice and you can use it. And also that you are voting by what you buy. So you are supporting the companies, whether they're using eco-friendly practices or not. So I want to thank you guys all for listening today. Please let us know what you think in the comments below. And next week, we're going to be talking about empathy and cultivating human character. So what is human character? Why do we need to develop it? And what effect is it going to have on the human race and the future of our planet? So thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you so much. Bye.